Bro, you comparing him to Luka.
I didn't say he was better. I didn't say he was better.
I'm not even mad at
he was
that.
like the first one. If I did say he was better, I recant that. It's like...
So, with the last dance going on, this player needs to be getting more credit, and I appreciate Steve Kerr for saying that he should have been in the promo and not me. Right. I mean, for real, bro, for real. Like, when you think 90s basketball, do you think Steve Kerr immediately? Like, you got to go through a few people before you get to Kerr.
Facts. Facts. I think
I'm just
Ron
saying.
Harper, I think Rodman, I think Kukoc,
Right, you know what I'm saying? So,
man,
but
I even think Luke Longley before I think Kerr. I don't even know why.
I don't know why you think Longley. That's disrespectful to Kerr and his craft.
He was so trash.
But Toni Kukoc, how do you feel he would trend? How would his game trend in today's NBA? I ask you, Mr. P.Kidd.
All right, so first off, just want to show appreciation for the man, Toni Kukoc. Obviously important for them 3 rings that we got out that board.
Absolutely.
Important for the 3 rings that we got out the board. So on top of that, one of the greatest European players that ever played, really opened the door along with Drazen for a lot of European players. So with that being said, how do I think he trends? I think everything trends up. I think the one thing about playing with Mike is, and I maybe people thought of it as disrespectful. I thought it was like the Scottie Pippen treatment, because Scottie Pippen was a dog, but because you're playing with Michael Jeffrey Jordan, you don't get as many touches. You don't get that rock as much. So at this point, everything trends down. The offense kind of flows. Like, he's a focal point. Even if they run in a triangle, he's still the focal point. That's your go-to. Right. But if you look at Tony's points. And remember, he was a pro before he became over here. So it was European. You look at those stats, and if you translate them, to here, his years with Chicago here, honestly, I see the man being a stud now. I look at Tony as when I think of Tony, I think of the first Luka.
How
Tony,
dare you take my talking point?
First Luka. My man was 6'10". Nice with the rock. He had a good season with a decent amount of assists, and most importantly, deadly from 3. The man had a crazy good 3-point percentage. And it's only one Google click away. You go ahead and look at some highlights for your man. And my man was letting that bad boy fly from deep. So at this point, hey, listen, I think my man is a stud in today's league. I think he still would have the same flaws that Luka has. He ain't a big defender. You don't look at Luka as being a crazy defender. Tony had that same issue then. But as far as being able to dribble, pass, shoot, decent at the rebounding position, I think he checks all the boxes for at least a double-double player. Well, let me ease up on double-double. But he's a good 20 and 5 player for me.
I feel like you don't even have to ease up on double-double, because I think that I agree with you. I think his stats trend up, but I would say go all in on the double-double player, because I think in today's game, where it's much less physical, much more European style basketball, you've got a guy who can kill. And I love the comparison to Luka Doncic. And Muzz gonna look at us like we crazy, right? Muzz are gonna look at us like you just compared this man to who should be the MVP of the season this year, right? Right?
Facts.
Okay.
Facts.
This is why you can compare him to Luka. Right. And I would say if he played in today's game, he might be better than Luka. He did everything Luka does. Able to handle the ball masterfully. Able to pass the ball masterfully. 6'10", 6'11", depending on what site you look at. 230? Now, I think, like you said, on the defensive end, he probably gonna get killed, because at that height, I think he played more of the small forward with the Bulls. He came in kind of for Scotty, but at that height coming in today, he's gonna be a 4. He's gonna be a 5 even. He's probably playing a 5. He's gonna get worked at the 5 on the defensive end. Like, I don't think that Toni Kukoc was a dominant defensive player. But I think
By
that
no
in
means.
today's game, Toni Kukoc could be competing for what we would call best big man in the league. We might not be talking about a Nikola Jokic if Toni Kukoc played in today's game.
Oh no, that's a reach, my guy.
Let me tell you something. Jokic does everything well, but he cannot run the floor like Toni Kukoc could.
All right, so
Toni Kukoc ran the floor like Scottie. Well, not like Scottie Pippen. Nobody ran the floor like Scottie Pippen. He ran the floor like a gazelle. He was 6'10", running the floor like a gazelle.
All right, so I was with you all up until you said, him sticking Jokic and being in that position. In today's position,
Well, I'm not saying sticking him. I don't think he could hold Jokic.
Oh no, he's not. I don't even think he'd be put in that situation. I think they keep him at the three because he played the three most of his career, even in the '90s. So before we got into this era of positionless basketball, that's what he did. That's what his skill set was. At the three position, who do you have that kills it outside of LeBron, Kawhi, and I'm leaving some major name out. I feel it.
Paul George.
He's the two.
Is he? It's positionless basketball, but is he? Jimmy Butler.
LeBron.
Is he?
I said LeBron, KD. Who else? Anyway, I don't think it's a long list of dominant threes.
Right.
And I think he would crack that top 7. I don't know about top 5 because I feel like I'm leaving some important people out. But I think he'll be up there.
That's why you can't drink before the show.
Hey man, listen. Salute. Listen, anyway.
Dilly. He's a guy who does everything, and if put in the positions, can do everything. I think he would reach different heights in today's NBA. I think we talk about Toni Kukoc in today's NBA as a top 10 player in the league. Honestly, I think we would talk about him as a top 10 player in the league because he did everything so well, and this is a scoring league. This is a league where we like the flash, the finesse, the razzle dazzle, and Tony had all of that.
All right, so I challenge that. I don't think he'd be top 10.
Here we go. I'm gonna get you a flag. I'm gonna get you a flag.
I'm at the flag on the play, bro. I don't think he'd be top 10. You know what I think it'd be? I think he'd be top 20. I think he'd be at the end of top 20, which is saying a lot considering that we're talking about somebody who definitely only got a chance at the height of their career in the NBA to be like a role player. Like,
and at his best, he had what, 17? 17, I think, was his best season, or 19. I'm sorry, 19 was his best season. So we're talking, and if you, the reason I love Toni Kukoc talking about him is because if you look at the stats, you'd be like, who is this dude? But you got to look at the player. You got to look at what he was able to do versus the competition he was able to do it against. And look at how that translates to this league. This man, the reason I say, and I appreciate the challenge I'm going to review now, the reason I say he would be top 10 is because the players that we put in the top 10 right now do everything that Toni Kukoc was doing at a time that it wasn't cool to do it.
I'll give you that.
I don't think that Toni Kukoc, now I will say this, I think with more shots, his 3-point percentage might be a little bit better. I think for his career, maybe 33 or 34. But I think that with more shots, and if you look at his stats, when he got more shots, his 3-point percentage skyrocketed up. But I think that in today's game, when it's all space and pace and run and gun, this man would, I mean, who honestly. Now, of course, you got your staples. Kawhi, LeBron, I don't know if I'm putting, is Paul George still top 10? Paul George, KD, of course.
Definitely.
Paul George, you still got PG top 10, James Harden, Steph Curry. You look at guys like that. I think when you start to get to the later part of that list, Toni Kukoc starts bumping guys out.
Once you get past 12, it's like, all right, now it's a toss-up between, like, I think 1 through 12, just because of how talented the league is, because everybody leaves off Damian Lillard, everyone leaves off the Kyrie Irvings, everyone leaves off, just if you look at it, we can name 5 teams that have a nice duo, and those people will be considered top 10. And then you still got, some other people. Clay gets mad disrespected when it comes to the top guards and top people in the NBA. So without getting too far off the topic, I can see him edging out the top 20. I see him at the 18, 19-ish range of the top 20.
So who's in? I guess this is the question then. Who's in your top 10 that's keeping him out right now?
Just to run it off.
Because it would be to me it would be I think of course he's not better than LeBron. He's not better than Durant. He's not better than Paul George is an interesting one, but I think because Paul George is two-way, he's not better than him. Not better than Kawhi, who's 5 right now. We going Anthony Davis is the 5th best player, or Giannis. I wouldn't put him over. They're fighting for 5 or 6. I wouldn't put him over either of those.
So if you just named 6 people right there, right?
Right.
You didn't even name Steph. You didn't name Clay. You didn't name Kyrie. You didn't name Dame. You didn't name James. That's 11 people right there. Harden, I mean.
But
James
see,
Harden.
this is the thing. I think that his scoring would trend so far up, we could put him in a conversation with guys like that. And the fact that he does everything else. Now you're talking about him as one of the best passers in the NBA, one of the top scorers in the NBA, as well as one of the better ball handlers in the NBA. Those are 3 things that everybody else on that list. Now, could you put him above a Steph Curry? Steph Curry, I think his place in the top 5 or 6 is solidified because no one can shoot like Steph does. But that doesn't always necessarily mean that Steph has the best talent in the NBA.
So here's, I gotta take you a step back, right? So let's look at Tony's best season.
Also, if you look at Tony's stats, not to cut you off, Tony played like 5-6 years too long. So his stats fall off drastically toward the
end of it. But if you look at that season we're talking about, let's just round up: 20 points a game, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, there's a lot of people who can kind of get you a very similar stat line, and if that was his best season, I don't know. I like I said, top 20, I can make that case easy. Top 10, nah, not a chance, not a snowball's chance in hell. I'm sorry, like it's not going.
But you don't think you don't. But you said yourself with his best season that his scoring would go up. So how much up do you think it would go?
I do believe his scoring will go up. I do believe.
So you think 25?
So here's why this is hard to answer like that. Because if you base it off of just statistics, Trae Young technically averaged nearly 30 points a game and 8 assists, and we don't even consider him top 15. If in a scoring league where everyone is able to, when you have more possessions per game and you're able to put up more shots and stuff like that, everything would trend up. When we talk about impact, like the top 10, top 12 people that we name, those are impact players. Like, they really ultimately can change a game at will. I don't think Tony had that ability. I don't think he ever had that ability. Maybe he did in a Euro.
Do you think that Tony was put in a position to have that ability? Or was Tony brought in and pigeonholed as what he was? Because I would argue with you, I would challenge you using your words, that you're coming into a team with Michael Jordan, and then when Michael Jordan leaves, now it's a team with Scottie Pippen. So at no point do you have a chance to lead that team. He played at a time where even though you're coming to the team, Scottie Pippen is the man. Why? Because he just came off winning 3 championships. You're coming into a championship situation where it's like, I'm going to just sit here and shut up because y'all seem to know what y'all doing. I'm going to just play this game. You know what I'm saying? And he found a way to be a huge part of that team.
Yeah, so if I look at that team, so now that I see what because when you say when Mike left, it's 2 times Mike left. Mike was the king of vacations.
You thinking the second time? No, first time.
Mike is the king of vacations for some odd reason. so
That's a God. He can do what he wants.
Do whatever he wants, obviously. So let's look at that season. I don't know. I think he could have had a bigger impact. He was the 3rd scorer, though. I think you got that one.
What I'm saying is, you're coming into a situation where you're like, what I'm gonna say? And he's coming off of championships. What I'm going to say? What I'm going to do? Hey, whatever you need, brother.
Fact.
Pass me the ball when I'm open. I'm going to shoot it. You want the pass? Hey, it's coming right back to you. You know what I'm saying? And you got to think mentally, Mike and Scotty probably beat this dude down in Barcelona. So when he came over, he was just like, hey, I'm just here for whatever, baby.
I'm just happy to be on the team, bye.
I'm just happy to be here. I'm just happy to, it's above me now.
It's above me. Here's the thing though, BJ Armstrong was getting out more tick and more contributions than a man. So it's like, maybe you look at it like, okay, they definitely needed this was a solid point. This was an era of, you definitely had a traditional point. You know, you had Horace Grant in a way, stuff like that. There's a lot of ifs in that situation. There's a lot of ifs in that situation. The only thing I could do is look at when he fully developed and came back in his best years to kind of project where he would be now. And looking at that, everything trends up, but he's not top 10. He's not top 15 even in today's league. He's a threat.
Wow, not top 15?
He's a threat. He's not top 15. Because, I mean, even look at this. We went down top 10 ourselves, right, of best players today. We didn't even mention Luka.
That's probably an oversight on our part, honestly. No lie. That's probably just an oversight on our part. And we probably should redo the top 10 list, but that's probably an oversight.
Better than the top 10 that we named.
But I think, like I said, I think that with his size and skill set, he would be different in today's game.
Okay.
I think that Luka, depending on when you bring him in, you know, depending on like, are we saying he been here for a while and Luka been here? You know, it's all debate depending on how you put it. But I think that when you look at him in today's game, in an era where basically the NBA is playing European basketball, and we know he was killing mugs in that. I think that his points would trend up to a point where he would be a number one on a team at 6'10", 230 pounds, running the floor pretty much just like Anthony Davis. Now, do I think that he's slowing anybody down? Not really. I don't think Tony was, I don't think he's slowing down, but I think that he would also be playing against different kind of competition. Back in the 90s, he's playing against threes. Right. In today's game, he's playing against fives. What five is standing in front of him? There's not a five in this league that's gonna stand in front of him. He would. Okay, let me ask you this: would he be because I think, like I said, I think he would be a big man in today's game. Would he be a top 5 big man in today's NBA?
No.
Oh wow. Oh wow. The Tony disrespect is real on this episode.
It's not disrespect. It's like, you know what? We have some very talented European players that have come through. When I look at that and I look at who those top European big men are and their size, Tony was a finesse player. Tony for me is like, when you think of finesse players, you think of like a Paul Gasol, like a better.
Paul Gasol wasn't one of the best big men when he was in the game.
Was he top?
I don't know if he was top 5. I'd have to go back and look at the list. But
talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but Paul Gasol
didn't play big. Like, he didn't play big. So
Tony didn't play big at all. I'm not saying that he'd be down there banging bodies with you, but who's gonna stand in front of him? Let me ask you this: could Cat keep up with him?
I don't think Cat is sticking him though.
You wouldn't put a big man on him? You don't think?
I wouldn't put a big man on him. In fact,
so you coming in?
Man on him at all.
So you coming in with today's current NBA lineups? Let's go. I don't know. I pick the Bulls. Sure, why not? Kobe White, Zach LaVine, Otto Porter Jr. We saying they all healthy. Larry Markkinen and Toni Kukoc.
I think Larry can stay in front of him. I'm not saying he'll stop him. I think Larry can stay in front of him. I think Larry Markkinen is a good example of, what Tony would look like physique-wise potentially if he had a little more girth to him, like. Pause.
Larry a little cut though.
You know what I'm saying?
See Larry up close. Larry cut out here.
But Larry is like 6'10", ain't he? He's like 6'9".
Larry Markkinen, I think he's 6'11".
Yeah, so like when you look at that, that man's 7 feet. Good Lord. All right.
7 feet. But this is the thing. I think we all, as if you're a Bulls fan, if you're not, I think we all think Jim Boylan hurt Larry Markkinen's growth a little bit.
Yeah.
I think we all believe that Lowry's the 18 and what was he? I don't remember his rookie year stats or his second year stat. 18 and 8, 18 and 7 guy. that was trending upwards. That's in today's NBA.
Yeah.
So if we think that Larry Markkinen is going to continue to trend upwards and be possibly one of the better power forwards in this league, why wouldn't Toni Kukoc be one of those? If you're talking 7 foot or you're talking 6'11", 7 foot guys, I think Toni Kukoc is right there in the conversation. And
So-
now you're talking about Jokic, you're talking about Anthony Davis, you're talking about, and I'm not saying that he's better than these guys, but I think that he could be.
I don't think he has a flame. I don't think if I gave him, let's call it the multiplier on all the stats that he has, I don't think I could give him that. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think I can give him that at all. What I think I will do is this, because we can go all day with that one. I'll say this: would he have a bigger role than he did coming in behind Jordan? Absolutely. Would he be a top 20 player? Definitely. He would be one of those people that we mention on a semi-regular basis. Top 10, not a chance. Top 15, top 20, definitely. But he's definitely he's a gamer. He's a game changer for some teams. I don't think he's leading a team. I think he's a strong number 2. I don't think he's leading a team, though. And I know that's probably saying a lot, but I don't think he's leading a team. I think he's your good sidekick, guaranteed, 18, 20. I give you 20. I mean, in today's league, a good sidekick is getting you 20 buckets. I mean,
20 to 25.
Getting you 20
to 25.
right? That's a good sidekick now. So if we look at a 1-2 punch, Tony is a great pickup in that regard at his peak in today's league. Because, I mean, he was a finesse player. He didn't play big. He didn't play gritty. Maybe a little grit because of error.
But I think that speaks to today's league more than anything. So I would say he would sneak into the top 10. I'm not saying he'd be top 5 in the league, but I think that Toni Kukoc in today's NBA, with how they play the game, could definitely sneak in to the top 10 in the league. I mean, bro, you comparing him to Luka.
I didn't say he was better. I said he was better.
I'm not even mad at
he was
that.
like the first one. If I did say he was better, I recant that. It's like, hey, Luka's a dog. Luka got a handle that you just don't expect. There's no athleticism coming out of that man at all.
That is
but for some odd reason,
hilarious.
he get buckets. So.
Oh my goodness. Well, hey, let us know what y'all think in the comments below, man. You know what we think.
Definitely.
I appreciate everybody for tuning in to the show, man.
Back at it again. Go ahead, hit me with it.
I am joined by P.Kidd. It is your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out here, world. Peace. Yeah.